It is Sunday, October 25th, 2020, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims. Every Sunday, I do a segment that I like to call the Elite Chronicles, which is usually a story from my life or kind of a tribute that I'll make to people that have been really incredible sports figures throughout my lifetime. And then yesterday, after beating the top contender in the lightweight division, Justin Gaethje, Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is the top pound for pound fighter in the world, who comes from Russia, who's been undefeated since he stepped foot in the UFC, has not lost a professional fight. He officially decided to hang up the gloves yesterday. His father passed away very recently, and then he promised his mother that he wasn't going to continue fighting. But considering what I've seen from Khabib Nurmagomedov, there's no doubt in my mind that other than maybe Floyd Mayweather within boxing, I don't think I've ever seen a more dominant fighter ever in my lifetime. And I'd argue that because UFC involves, grappling, and Khabib already knows that, and there's kicking, I think he's the best pound for pound all around fighter that I've ever seen in my life. And considering a lot of people are they're very sure that he's very sure that he's never going to fight professionally again. And no, I will commend him. I will say that he is the best fighter I've ever seen. So I mean, after of course being one of the world's greatest international fighters, greatest MMA champions, Ukrainian national champion, he of course comes to the UFC in 2012. Of course, just dominates a couple guys, takes on Tibau and Shalores, who were amazing fighters within their own weight classes. He took on Pat Healy, who was one of the UFC's best fighters ever, and of course he pig slammed him. Really, a fight that a lot of people remember. And he would also take on Abel Trujillo, a fight in which he slammed him to the floor a record 21 times after he headbutted him, the only person to really kind of get into something with Khabib before the fight, except for really Conor. And then, I mean, he would take him all 3 rounds, and then Khabib would win by decision. He'd win the next fight against Thiago Tavares in the first round by 2 minutes. And I mean, this dude is a guy that just knows how to win a fight. Probably he's one of the smartest fighters when it comes to holds that I've ever seen. He's rarely knocked off of his game. He's rarely ever taken out of it. He took a quick break from in 2016, beat Michael Johnson, Daryl Horcher, and then Edson Barboza in 2017 when Edson Barboza was at the top of his game. And then that was when he was already the champion. He's been the champion for a bit. He took on Conor McGregor when Conor McGregor returned, and I watched that entire fight. He made Conor tap out in the 4th round, and then he jumped out and then went after Conor's team, and that was a whole thing. He took out Iaquinta, and then he took on Dustin Poirier when Dustin Poirier was the top contender, and Dustin Poirier seemed like he would be the first person to take out Khabib. No, not even close. And then of course in 2020 with this win against Justin Gaethje, Khabib sitting at 5'11", 5'10", sitting at 155 pounds because that's about the weight at lightweight. I mean, he ended him in the 2nd round, and people in the UFC all throughout are aware of what Justin Gaethje can do, and Khabib kind of did away easily with him. And then at the end of the fight, he said that he was done, and the only thing that he asked from UFC was that he be named the best pound for pound fighter so that he can retire on top, which I completely respect, and I will say that he's the best fighter that I've ever seen. And I mean, as a fan, I'm not gonna be like, come back and fight because you owe it to me as a fan. I'm just gonna say, like, for everything that he's done, I'd say that's probably one of the most impressive stories that I've ever seen, especially when it comes to fighting. He literally fought his way up to the top. He has nothing left to prove. He walks away, Khabib Nurmagomedov, the Eagle, 29-0, undefeated lightweight champion. And he's probably one of the best fighters I've ever seen. And I want to say, with that said, it is Sunday, October 25th, 2020 out here in this quarantine. Khabib, I really hope you enjoy retirement because I don't know if there's going to be another fighter like Khabib. Of course, there are going to be other fighters that are going to dominate divisions to dominate the lightweight division even, and probably go 30-0. But I don't know if they're gonna do it the way Khabib did. But with that said, once again, thank you for listening to my piece, and peace out.